Ayo. MOM Radio and the Pipe Bomb Radio Network present Not Your Mama's Radio Show with your hosts, former WWE superstars and two men that are always on a mission, Oscar and Sir Mo.
Well, men on the mission. Are you ready? Well, here we go. Men on the mission. Bam, bang, boom. Here we go. Do it like this. You got to all know. Oscar, Mabel, and Mo. So we're in the house. We're ready. So men on the mission over here. Do it like this. Opposition. You better have fear. Do it like this. We got your ignition. Who's in the house? It's men on a mission. Well, men on a mission. Yeah. Men on a mission. In the house. Well, men on a mission.
And we are live now with Not Your Mama's Radio Show with your hosts, Oscar and Sir Mo. And they are joined, as always, by the lovely Mimi. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, man. How you doing, Felix?
Felix,
I'm
what's
doing
up,
good.
buddy?
Doing good, guys. Doing good. Hope you guys are doing the same.
Hey,
Man,
Felix,
doing
hey,
well,
Mo.
doing well. Hey, Mimi,
All
how
right.
you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, girl. Good to hear you again.
I was just going to say, it's good to hear you.
Good. How your week been, girlfriend?
Oh, it's been interesting.
It been interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had an interesting day yesterday. I kind of lost my brain for a minute.
And I helped you find it, didn't I?
For just a second.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad to help.
Just a second. I appreciate it. Thanks for
Not a
talking me off that ledge.
Not a problem. I'm always here for you, man.
Hey, man, hey. Well, I was about to say something, but you got kids, so you know how it is.
Well, when you decide to jump, please call me and don't jump till I get there because I want to be there to see it, okay?
You want to be there to see it? Or there
I
to
want to
push
be there
me
to
off?
see it.
To see it, huh?
So I'm not
push
going to
me
get a
off?
murder rap. I'm not going to get a murder rap. You're going to jump on your own, but I want to get a front row seat to see it.
Front row seat saying, I dare you. You ain't going to do it, I dare you.
Yeah, jump. Glory. You're going to glory. Jump, jump. Oh, all right. Tonight, we have got a very exciting show. He started off as P.J. Walker. He went on to be Aldo Montoya till he found his niche to be Just Incredible. Just Incredible ECW hardcore legend is going to be with us tonight, but that's not all. If Bret Hart is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, his bigger brother Bruce Hart trained him, so what does that make him? We're going to ask Bruce Hart that very question. Bruce Hart's going to be here tonight, and I just cannot, just excited. All right, moving along. I have an interesting perspective on something. I want to give it to you guys real quick. We have a lot to do tonight, but we open the show always with a topic. When I first got in the rap game years ago, back in the 80s, and guys started signing record contracts and they learned how the music business works, the first thing that a lot of rappers like in the music business too was that they're like, they pimps and we hoes. As long as we selling records and doing concerts and selling out arenas and making money, and they get most of the money and they giving us just enough to feel rich, buying us a car, I mean, that's some pimp and hoe game right there. And that was a real interesting way of looking at it. Now, you fast forward now to the WWE. Isn't Vince McMahon and that whole thing like the same thing, kind of? The production crew, the talent, especially the talent, every time you go into the ring, ain't they like hoes walking out to the track to sell that thing and bringing that money back home to daddy?
Oh, my Jesus. Did you say that on the radio?
Only thing missing from Vince is a fur coat, a big fedora hat, and a cane that say, "Get my money, bitch." I mean, woo!
Oh, my Jesus.
I just thought about it and thought I'd share it with you guys. Vince McMahon, one of the greatest pimps in entertainment history, he need to be at the Players Ball, not just be there, but be the chairman. Whole seminars of pimps, how to make you hoes go get my goddamn money.
So he needs to put Bishop Don Juan out of business then.
He can put Bishop Don Juan, Iceberg Slim, and all the. He needs to write a book. Bishop Don Juan ain't got nothing when it comes down to Vince McMahon, or as I call him, Daddy.
I'm gonna call him Super Pimp.
There you go, Super Duper Pimp.
Super Pimp. Yeah. Hey, guess what, man?
Yeah.
Since you brought up that interesting point, you used to be one of his top hoes.
Oh, wasn't I? Wasn't I? Oh, yeah. Why you think I brought the point up? I remember when I was his top bitch. Honey?
Yep.
Yeah.
You used to be one of the top
Another
hoes.
revelation coming out the closet. I was Vincent McMahon's main hoe for a while.
Yeah, Mimi. Your man used to turn tricks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, me and Nelson used to be his bodyguard. He was home and we was bodyguarding.
Sashaying that wig and going back behind that gorilla position curtain and being like, here go your money, Daddy. Here go my turd in. Did I do good?
That's when he gave you that big, wet, juicy kiss on the forehead.
There you
Good
go.
girl.
Every night. And
girl.
other individuals wanted to give me more than that.
Slap you on your booty and send you on your way.
They wanted to do more than that.
But for free.
Well, I don't know if it would have been free because I don't know. Had I caved in, me and you might be living a whole lot different right now.
Well, I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to be living any different.
I don't know.
Sat there around.
People got office buildings and yachts and they still getting a check 30 years later though they ain't been on TV.
Man,
them hand jobs went a long way.
Boy, you sick. You sick for real. You sick for real.
All right. Let me shut up because I'm trying to get a job in development. This will come back to haunt me.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, wait a minute. I just got the peanut gallery. What, Mimi? What?
You trying to get a job in development. Not talking like that.
Right. See?
Oh,
where the brain is? This dude's got a peanut brain.
Whatever, man.
This radio ain't no work.
No, it's not. This is. I told y'all when I started. This is shoot radio. We tell it how it is.
Okay, you tell it how it is. But when they laugh in your face when you try to get a job, then I mean, what can you say?
They ain't been giving me no job. I am tired of covering for them.
Hey, bruh.
Yeah.
It's okay, man. If you think that you're gonna take this radio program to the Howard Stern level, to where it's paying you income, and Mimi don't have to work anymore, you talk all the trash you want to. but if you think for 1 minute that you're not going to be able to take this radio program to that level, when it comes to talking about Vince McMahon and his hoes, I would slack up on that.
Big Daddy Pimpin'. But all right. I got that out the way. We're going to slack up. All right.
Okay.
Mimi, we're going to do the WWE report. Oh, her WWE report is slamming this week. We're going in a different direction, see how it play. We're not going to do a Monday Night Raw recap. We're going to get to some real news. So let's, Felix, you want to go to commercial first or you want to do the report?
I'll go ahead and I'll play the commercial real quick.
All right, we're going to be right back after these messages. We're a real radio show. Right back after these messages.
After we pay some bills.
Hey, Doc, my feet are killing me. The pain, the swelling. I'm not sure I can take much more. I don't walk. I wobble. I can't remember the last time I danced. It's even hard to stand. What's the problem?
Well,
First, you should be screened to determine if you're diabetic. Did you know that 25.8 million Americans have diabetes? Diabetes affects the feet, which is why it's very important to have regular foot evaluations. Here at Freeman Foot Care, we are trained to do just that. So come on back. We'll have you dancing in no time.
Okay, sounds good.
Great. Please give us a call at 219-882-2000, and we're conveniently located at 650 Grant Street, Suite 4, in Gary, Indiana.
And we are back now with Nacho Mama's radio show and on to the Raw Report. Not the Ross Report, the Raw Report. Hello. The Mimi Report.
The Report.
Was that Mimi on that commercial?
Yeah, her and Dr. Freeman. We started a real radio show now, huh?
And she had to get her feet checked?
Yeah, you got to get her feet checked, yeah.
She going to dance in the strip club?
Nah, she ain't going to dance in the strip club. But she walked over to the convenience store today.
Oh, okay. I thought she was talking about getting her feet fixed so she can go dance in the strip club.
Hey, shut up, man. Ain't nobody going to dance at the strip. You go dance at the strip club.
I was going to show up and make it rain, buddy.
You going to make it rain?
Make it rain. Quarters.
Not with my wife, you don't.
Quarters.
All right, Mimi. WWE Report. Go.
This is your WWE report for the week of July 13, 2014. Special edition, Backstage News. With the WWE tightening its financial belt, talent and production are feeling the heat. Talent royalty payouts are down. And as production crews were rolling like rock stars on tour buses, they are now left pretty much standing at the bus stop waiting for the number 14. This has led to many of them walking off the job. Will we see a decline in the production value of the product? You be the judge. Seemingly, a return of CM Punk has become less likely. Reports indicate that WWE has elected not to renew his contract, thus opening the door for Punk to pursue other avenues. Will we see him on TNA, or will he go to Japan? I'm sure many will keep their eyes open for his future. And what is this deal with Daniel Bryan not being included in the WrestleMania 30 highlight reel? Have we seen the end of Daniel Bryan? With health issues looming, his return is questionable at best. Cesaro is no longer a Paul Heyman guy. Thrusted out of the Cesaro business, Heyman will be concentrating on the return of Brock Lesnar. Details are still sketchy on The Rock's return, but make no mistake, he will be back. With the right plan is formulated and an opponent is determined, you will see him just in time for WrestleMania 31. And speaking of returns, keep an eye out for Sting, because, ladies and gentlemen, he's coming. This WWE Report Special Edition was brought to you by Whitaker & Company of Gary, Indiana. When 1 + 1 is no longer 2, call Whitaker & Company and they'll do the math. 219-880-0850.
Okay. Now, the first part of that report was interesting because, yeah, the production guys used to have the tour buses. You used to see them lined up, and I mean a lot of them. I thought they was for the talent. But it turns out that a lot of those buses were for the production guys. But now that they done reported $20 million out of the production budget, you know, the construction of getting Raw together every week and the pay-per-views and SmackDown and whatever else, and the live events, whatever else have you, they ain't rolling on tour buses no more. They getting rental cars like we used to do, driving from one building to the other. But the difference between that, we had a lot of time to get some rest before we had to be at the building the next day. They don't. Is that right, Mo?
You're exactly right. But, you know, complacency brings laziness. And you can't sit there and ride the train all day long when things are good and then get an attitude when things get bad, and then want to take your ball and go home.
Yeah,
you got to enjoy the good with the bad.
Because they wasn't always riding on buses. That ain't no. That's not no thing that's been going on for 20 years. Now it's changed.
Of course not. So things got good. So we upgrade a little bit. Things get bad. We gotta, look, man. When I'm making $100,000 a year, I can afford to drive around in a $40,000 vehicle. And I can afford a $1,100 a month mortgage payment, and wine and dine fabulously. But when I go from that income to a mere $24,000 a year, I mean, you got to make adjustments, man. See, that's why I'm so glad I was born in the ghetto, because you learn to appreciate having nothing.
Exactly.
So then if you ever get something and you lose that and you go back to nothing, it's not a big deal. You don't want to stick a bullet in your brain like some people do.
Right, exactly.
So some people just haven't learned how to manage their lifestyle, man. At some point when you climb the ladder, you got to always remember at some point you got to come down. You're not going to stay on top forever. It's not possible. It's not possible. Not going to stay on top forever.
I remember one of the first nights we got there, I listened to Virgil talk. Now, right before we got there, when Hogan was on top and he was with the $1 Million Man and they was doing double shots and going here and there, he was bragging about all the money they was making. They was going from town to town in private jets and limousines and doing this and doing that and doing the damn thing and all that. Shoot, we was in compact rental cars when we got there. We didn't know nothing. We didn't know nothing about that.
Right. So
yeah, but people gotta realize, it's a business. It goes up, it goes down, and you stick with it. And one thing I can say about Vince is he's loyal. Vince is loyal and rewards loyalty. That's one thing that I could say that he ever did as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. But he's one of those kind of people where, he'll have a meeting and he'll tell you stick with me during the bad times. When times get good, times are going to get good, and I'm going to reward you.
Right.
And he was pretty damn good, about doing that. But like everything can't stay up, and you're right. Because I was talking to Mimi about this just yesterday. I came from the ghetto where we had nothing. We all waved our food stamp, going to the store to get that Snicker bar, that 7-Up, and we was happy doing it. Ma, throw down some money. The ice cream truck is here. She might throw it down. She might not. She might have it. She might not have it. Or she may not feel like giving it to you. We had the same 4 pair of pants and 3 shirts going to school the whole school year round. And it was no shame being on food stamps because everybody was on food stamps. Everybody was on a fixed income. That's the way we live, but we were happy.
Right. Everybody lined up and go get those commodities.
That cheese.
That cheese. That good cheese.
That to this day makes some of the best grilled cheese sandwiches you're going to have. It's better than Velveeta.
Exactly.
So when you live like that and then you come up in life and you have a lot of money or whatever, when you lose it ain't so bad because you wasn't born. What I tell you, Mimi? What did I tell you about a silver spoon yesterday?
You said you weren't even born with a plastic spoon.
What a spork. You know that combination spoon and fork that they give you for your school lunch? I wasn't even born one of those in my mouth.
Right. Same here.
So now that I'm back pro, it don't. I mean, I can deal with it. I come up again.
Look, man. The one thing I can never understand, because I never went through this, was how so many people, man, when they leave, when the spotlight turns off.
Oh yeah.
you know, when the spotlight turns off, I mean, how many people have we put in the ground, man, since their spotlight turned off?
Far too many.
It's quite a few. It's quite a few, and quite a few of them took their own lives purposely. You know, I mean, of course, some of it was accidental drug overdose or whatever,
right.
But some of it was purpose, man. Because some people just don't know how to handle when that spotlight goes off. They just sink into obscurity, you know, and get depressed and, man, shit, get a job.
Right.
I mean, really.
You know, it's. I mean, you're 100% right. But even I went through it when that spotlight go off. It's a hard pill to swallow for a while anyway, because you know you're used to being a star, being a man, or being a woman, and having the money and traveling around. Now you're just going home and watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's not the easiest thing, and a lot of people. You're right. They take their own life because they can't never adjust to it.
Thank God I found other things to do.
Exactly. That's the whole thing. You found other things to do.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I want to intercept real quick and let you know that we do have the one and only, the legendary Bruce Hart. He has been patiently waiting to come on, and I'm going to go ahead and bring him on right now.
All right. I'm going to give him the proper introduction. Now, if Bret Hart is the best there is, the best there was, or the best there'll ever be, and this man trained Bret Hart, does that make him a god among men? Here to tell us if he's a god among men, ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Hart.
How are you guys? I've been listening, intrigued with your conversation. I can relate to all that stuff.
I'm glad you didn't hang up.
Yeah.
You didn't hang up. I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I can relate to half of those guys. You know, you're talking about all the guys who couldn't cope after the spotlight went out, and I know a lot of those guys. Very good perspective. So I'm glad you guys seem to have retained your perspective and all of that. You know, to your credit that you're still sane and seemingly happy. After the WWE gig dried up, so that's cool. I can relate.
Trust me, it wasn't easy, but there was life before there, so there's got to be life afterwards.
And I remember the odd time I saw you guys on the road, you guys were always pretty happy and took it all in stride. You weren't getting big heads, or you weren't getting bent out of shape if you had to do a job or any of the other stuff. You guys were enjoying the ride and giving off good energy, which is something they need more of these days. They need some more guys who just kind of make it fun and give off good energy, make the dressing room a happy place, and make the fans feel like their support is appreciated and all like that. And there's too many guys that become too wrapped up in themselves, and they forget that it's the fans and the other boys and all the people that they had to step on to get to that pinnacle. All those people are vital parts of them being there, and too many of them lose sight of that, and they become what we used to call marks for themselves, which is kind of like a rib, but there's way too many guys like that, guys and divas, I might add, who lose perspective, and I find it hard to believe that they can. It's so transparent, but it seems to be pretty much the rule rather than the exception. So you respect guys like yourselves. There's guys out there right now who are in the spotlight, but their egos are still in check, and they're still the same guys, and you run into some others, I'm sure you guys have too, that have lost sight of all that, and they're big marks for themselves, and they don't have the time of day to talk to all the guys who are not in their stratosphere and all that other stuff, you know. So
you're right about that.
I'm sorry. All right, Bruce. My first question to you, Bruce, is this: Take us back to the early days of the dungeon. How are you guys trained by Stu? What went on down there? Because I mean, a lot of people want to know about the dungeon. What went on down there, and what was it that he taught you guys that turned out the extraordinary array of talents that come out of there? What was his philosophy? How were you guys trained, and how did it just come out to be so great coming out the dungeon?
It was kind of funny. I remember being down there when I was a little kid, you know, and I my dad actually didn't let us go down there, but we'd sort of sneak down there and pry the door open when the things got started, and it was almost always the same kind of trip where Stu was telling these wannabes to take it easy on them, and, you know, kind of understating, like, as Stu would always be saying, like, he just eaten, or he's got a cold, or he's, you know, didn't get any sleep last night or something. So he'd always kind of give them all that kind of stuff, and then he was always putting them over first, you know, telling them, like, how big their arms were, you know, and telling that he hears that they were, you know, street fighters or tough guys and all this stuff, and then he'd sort of just start pushing around, and initially Stu would sort of let them push him all over the mat, you know, and kind of make out like he was in over his head, and then just out of the blue, Stu would all of a sudden, you know, have them in some kind of a killer hold, and they'd be screaming, and all of a sudden Stu was ignoring you, like, they're screaming, "Stu, please, please," and all. Stu's making out like he can't hear them, and he's it was usually a few other guys watching, so Stu would make out like, you know, talking in third person now, you know, and the guy would be screaming his head off, and Stu would be saying he'll be all right, and you know, I might teach him a little respect now or some such thing. And Stu would be putting all these killer holds on him, and if the guy was screaming too loud, Stu was just put his big paw over the guy's nose and mouth, you know, and cut off his hair, and then you know, Stu would be telling the guy to have some dignity and all this other, you know, but it was kind of humbling, you know, but it I think it went a long way into instilling some respect for the business and maybe for themselves too when they went through that, because you know, most of them had to go through that for like 6 months. It was not just the one time. It was kind of an ongoing thing, and then I think it was about them respecting the business, and they seemed to impart that to the crowd, you know, and they sort of protected the business, and they went out of their way to kind of, I think, make it look real, you know, and those are all things I think that are sometimes missing today. You know, there's too many guys who get in there, haven't really paid that many dues, and then they, you know, they're smartening up marks and going online and all like that, and talking about everything being a work and all of that, and it, I think it translates to the crowd. You know, I'm still not a huge. I might sound like I'm living in the past or old school, but my belief is the average mark still wants, if you'd allow them to indulge in some kind of notion that it might be real, or they really don't want to know. You know, they would prefer to indulge in the notion that maybe John Cena and The Rock were, you know, shooting and all that other, you know, and. But,
exactly. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and it's and I'm sort of been. I think it's one of Vince's problems right now. He's got way too many script writers, and he's got too many people that, from my perspective, don't appreciate or don't respect the business. So they're doing all this idiot stuff that engenders disrespect. You know, you got Stephanie and Vicky Guerrero having a mud bath or some crap after you've shot a serious angle, or you got Hornswoggle and El Burrito spanking each other for after you've just had a hot angle or something. It all contradicts. For me, it detracts, and I'm seeing too many guys out there who it looks to me like they haven't paid their dues, or they don't really even know how the hell to work, I'm not sure if they kissed somebody's posterior or what the hell they did, but it's frustrating because bottom line is the fans still want to indulge in it. They still want to, kind of invest their emotions and all that into it, and all too often if I was a mark, I'd be frustrated because it's like, geez, these guys are doing all this stuff that's insulting to our intelligence, and all the fans really want to do is, see a good show, indulge in, get behind their heroes and boo their villains, and it's not that complicated. But my dad used to say when he was still alive that they were getting so far out that they couldn't get back in, was his way of putting it, and he said if they just went back to wrestling, or what appeared to be wrestling, and did less high spots and realized that a high spot ceases to be a high spot if all you're doing is high spots, and he used to use a football analogy that the run should set up the pass, the wrestling should set up the high spots or the hot finishes or the swerves or the tits and ass or whatever else, and if the wrestling is not the main course, then, there's something wrong with it. And I see that all too often these days, they have this more is better mindset, and I actually believe it's the other way around. If you did less of the bullshit stuff and less of the high spots and less screaming on the mic and less tits and ass and less comic relief and all the other, what you did when you did something, you did it at the right time and place and where it meant something, then I think the people would pop, and so it's kind of frustrating because with social media and all these things right now, the ability to propagandize or kind of push your product, they got more tools at their disposal than they've ever had, but more often than not, they're shooting themselves in the foot, and I see sort of the same. It frustrates me with the other promotion, TNA, or I don't even watch them, but I hear stuff, and instead of trying to be a compelling alternative, which is what they should be trying to do to Vince, be something different and maybe regain the conventional, traditional fans. It seems to me most of the time all they're doing is being like a cheap imitation of Vince, and imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, so all they're really doing is flattering Vince if they're bringing in all the guys that he's squashed or stripped of their dignity before he let them go, and so it's sort of frustrating, that's why it's a pleasure for me to hear guys like you, have paid your dues and you understand the the precepts of old school, and you also understand the fans are number one. That's what it's all about. Is whether there's 100 people out there or 100,000, you still want to go out and give them their monies and feel like they are part of the equation. And all too often these days, I feel sorry for the poor bastard. Almost everything that's being done is, disregarding them, or they're not even, considered in the equation. And it should be they're the ones who are really the key component of the whole thing. But
now, now my next thing, okay, you bring up the state of the WWE, okay, and which is an interesting thing, which leads me to a question that I'm dying to ask. And the question is, with all the talent that came out of the dungeon, all the Canadians that all came, especially out of you guys' area, out of you guys' purview, if you will, why did you guys never ever make a Canada-based federation that would even rival the WWE? I mean, you guys, it seemed to me you guys could have did it right there in Canada. Instead of making Vince all that money with your talent, how come you guys never did it for yourselves? And is that something you guys are looking at?
It's really frustrating because I was the booker. I was in charge of all the talent back in the 80s, and I was the guy who kind of mentored, and I was the guy who kind of unleashed Dynamite and Davey and Brett and Jake and Junkyard and Owen and Pillman and Benoit and Liger and all those other guys, and I think it really goes back to when Vinny approached my dad, and I think when about 84, something like that, he made they made some kind of a deal where Vinny was supposed to give my dad $1 million and supposedly 10% of the gross gates whenever they came to Western Canada, which was like, I'm not sure if American fans know that area, but it'd be like Vancouver and Calgary and Edmonton and
of course, yeah,
Regina, Saskatoon, Winnipeg, that whole stretch. So, but anyway, bottom line is Vinny, as he did with quite a few of the other promoters that he cut these deals with, he never followed through on any of that. He I think gave my dad $20,000 down, and he got all the talent, which was Brett and Dynamite and Davey and Honky Tonk and Bad News and Schultz and Bastion Booger and a few others, and I think my dad was actually going to sue him, because he didn't deliver on his what he had promised, and it was in writing, and all of a sudden there was this kind of conundrum there, though, where Brett and Neidhart and Davey and Dynamite and all like that, who were all family and all, they're all panicking and saying, Stu, you can't sue Vince because he'll fire us, or we're working for we're working for him now type thing. So Stu kind of opened up the territory again about a year later. He was more because he was pissed. It was almost, and I had to sort of start from scratch all over again. I was sort of the most outspoken person about Vince shafting Stu, so that didn't endear me to any of the people down in Connecticut, the Benny, and so I actually had to start from scratch. That's where I took another crew of what was pretty much rookies, but they had some desire and some talent that turned out to be Owen and Pillman and some of the Japs like Liger and Hashimoto and Hosei and Pillman and a few others, and we actually got it going again, and then I think we ran for about another 5 years, and but the problem became every time I developed any talent that was, when they were starting to finally become decent workers, Vinny and them would come in and offer them more money than Stu was able to pay them. So he'd like take Owen, or he'd take Benoit or Pillman or the other guys, that so Stu finally just he sort of got pissed off and just threw the towel in. But it was too bad. I've said for years that I've always felt that it would have been in WWE's best interests if they were working interactively with these promotions like Stu's or whatever, and not only developing talent, but it's good. One of the things that Vinny needs to be doing is he needs a place to send guys when they need to have their faces given a rest, as Dynamite Kid used to say. You need to be able to, say a guy's had his run or whatever, like maybe Biggie Langston or maybe Curtis Axel or Ryback or Alberto. There's a bunch of those guys that are kind of, past their shelf date right now, but they don't have any place to go, so they almost kind of, and Damian Santo, guys like that, they almost turn them into clowns or jobbers or whatever, and so it's a waste of all the money and the time that they've put into these guys, and they kind of reduce them to, guys that are, after all is said and done, they're not even marketable anymore. I've seen so many of these guys like Finley and, Chavo Jr. and a bunch of them, mostly because they don't have any, but if they were able to send them to a place like Calgary or Portland or Amarillo or Minneapolis or one of those places for 6 months, they could bring them back and have them as hot commodities again, So I don't know what I've never quite been able to figure out whether Vinny's and his people are afraid or they're insecure. They're afraid that it's going to be, they're going to come back to be a threat to them, which I don't think would be the case. But you need to be. That's the biggest threat for me right now of the whole wrestling. The biggest thing that jeopardizes the whole future of this business is the grassroots are really eroded. There's like in any other sport, you guys would know, being in the States with, say, basketball or baseball or football, you have minor league teams and you got college and you got all this other, so and that sustains the grassroots. Even though and any of those teams, any team in any big city in the States plays baseball, they're playing 162 games, or NBA, but like WWE comes maybe to Calgary and probably most other cities in North America no more than once or twice a year, which to me doesn't sustain fan interest or fan base. Like if you had a damned San Antonio Spurs were playing 2 games a year in San Antonio, I don't think their fan base would be very strong. Or if you had the Yankees or the Dodgers play 2 games a year in those cities, and so I can't even figure where their mindset's coming from. They should be endeavoring to rebuild the grassroots and refortify the fan base at the the smaller level, because all they're doing is helping themselves and not only sustaining their fans, but developing talent and test marketing concepts and all those things that used to be so easy to do in the so-called territories, but that's I've been sort of railing against a lot of the WWE's short-sightedness, and they're not sure if they're paranoid or egocentric or what it is, whether they are afraid that if they help some of these smaller promotions, that those promotions are going to come back and be a threat to them, which to me is to me is laughable. And I really don't know where their mindset is, and it's, to me, as dire or as big a problem as ever. The biggest indication to me that what I'm saying is, pretty much validated when you have to bring Chris Jericho and The Miz and all these. I was almost amused when they brought Jericho and The Miz back a short while ago. I was more like I didn't know they had been away, but all of a sudden they're making out like the return of some preeminent superstar, and
right.
It's because they don't have there's not too many guys down in Nexus or whatever that seem to be
right.
able to step up and hit a home run, So, but
of course.
But
I totally agree with you, Bruce. I think that their mentality is, though, that they want to be the only game in town. Period. They don't care about, like you said, what sustains the NBA in this country is college basketball. What sustains the
NFL,
Major League Baseball is minor league baseball and college baseball.
Same with NFL. It's a simple system too. If NFL or NBA went out of their way, decided there's some egomaniacs or insecure people in those sports that decided, NCAA's taking too much of our business or whatever.
Right.
We've got to do away with them. We've got to systematically put them out of business. If that had happened, say back in the 80s, like when Vinny was doing that to the rest of the wrestling, and say that had happened, where would the talent be coming from today? And for me, the other thing that's a complete joke is they have this show Nexus or whatever the hell, where they're supposedly developing the
NXT.
The worst thing you can be doing when you're breaking in, up and coming stars is showing the fans all their warts and imperfections when they're in the embryonic or in the developmental stage. In the old days, as you guys know, you got a guy like Terry Bollea or Jim Hellwig or Steve Williams or whoever the hell, they would be learning their craft in a place like Alabama or Minneapolis or wherever the hell Bill Watts' territory or whatever, and
New Orleans.
And then they finally, they'd be kind of, perfecting, learning from their mistakes and changing gimmicks and getting a persona and learning how to cut promos. And so when they hit the WWE, they hit the ground running as, legit superstars. But to me, it's completely ass backwards when you have these rookies on Nexus, and they have one gimmick name or their real name at first, and then you have them playing one role, and then they change a role, and this is all in front of, mainstream WWE fans. So when they finally get there as Adam Rose or, Husky Harris becoming Bray Wyatt or whatever the hell, I think the fans are all going, who the hell are you guys kidding? I know back in the old days when my dad would bring guys in, and they would come in from the States or whatever, a guy like David Schultz or Bad News or whatever, and they would be like that shark in the movie Jaws, where they would be, scary and they had everything down, and they'd be, that was kind of the norm back in those days. When you brought in a new top heel or a new top face, they would destroy the first 3 or 4 opponents they had, and if it was a heel, they'd be getting color and scaring people, and if they were a face, they'd be going over in 2 minutes and having the people think they were the hot new thing. But like WWE does that, and it's like a complete contradiction of old school marketing, because they bring these guys in from Nexus or whatever the hell, and to the best of my knowledge, not one of them has really made a huge impact when they've got there. One reason, because most of them are lousy workers, but beyond that, there's no mystique or no, kind of, inflated perceptions of them, which is what you should have. I remember, you guys would remember back in the day when Vinny would bring in a new heel like The Undertaker or Bundy or Warrior or whoever, and they would be destroying everyone. And in those days, they had the squash matches on the TV or whatever, but they'd be, destroying everyone for the first however many months, and then, it'd lead up to some big showdown with Hogan or Warrior or Savage or one of those guys. But nowadays there's, no mystique to all that, and it frustrates you just from having, you sort of develop old school perspectives. I'm sure you guys, when you were breaking in, you had all that stuff, kind of taught to you about, ring psychology and, shooting angles and building up storylines and all like that. And I remember that was kind of, almost like the gospel. When I was breaking in, you'd have these old farts like Harley Race and Dory Funk and Terry Funk and all these guys schooling you, and we had, like I heard you guys talking earlier about life on the road, but that was a big part of it. You're riding around on, we used to do about 2,000 or so miles a week up here in Calgary. So you're on the road all the time, riding around in vans and cars, and guys would be, the old guys would be schooling the rookies, about take your time, or the cell sets up the comeback, and you're doing this, or you're doing too much of that, or you shouldn't be wasting time on this or that, and it was a really kind of useful kind of education, and I think a lot of those things are missing today. I don't think, it's pretty obvious to me when I see a lot of the workers in there that they don't have a clue. They have this mindset my dad used to refer to as flinging shit against the wall, and I hope that something and they were hoping that something would stick. In most cases it didn't, but it stunk, and it's because they don't know what, they're not sure what, gets over, or how, or when, or why, or whatever, so it's almost reflected, and the bad part for me is the bookers or the script writers or whatever the hell their exalted terminology for those people is. They don't seem to know either. It's kind of this, and what indicates to me is anytime when I see like a serious angle, and then I see, the two dwarfs come out and do some thing like that, and then they try to, hook you again with something serious. Then they have the divas, mud wrestling, or both trying to kiss Fandango or give him fellatio or some such thing. There's all this where it's all over the place, and in the old days, if a booker was trying to do that, I know some of the old wrestlers like the Harleys or the Bad News, they would step up and say, this is an affront to me. I respect this business and I take it seriously. And if you're doing stuff like that, I don't want to be on part of that. It used to be kind of like that. If you're having a lot of crap on the card like that, but I see all the time. It frustrates you because it doesn't even serve any purpose, and it detracts from the hot stuff you're trying to. And that's one of the things I see that with Vinny and them. Anytime something seems to get over a little bit, invariably they seem to do way too much of it. I think they've even done that now with this Wyatt family stuff. Where like I think they thought they had reinvented the wheel there or something like that. And for me, it was kind of like a thinly veiled takeoff on the early Undertaker stuff. What they were doing with Paul Bearer and
right.
But but it seems like now it's almost I don't even know what to make of it. And same pretty much for me with the Shield. At first I could see a little bit of I saw some potential in it, and the Ambrose and Reigns and Rollins seemed like they were getting over, but after a while it was like every damn match all they ever did was interfere. It's like it wasn't even a good. Like in the old days, interference was a guy sneaking in and doing something and getting the hell out, and these guys are like a spotlight on them and marching, and it takes 5 minutes for them to get to the ring to do an interference, and
right.
But I see all that stuff all the time, and just sort of it tells me that there's nobody really, no one person is like calling the shots. If you had a damn football team and you had a guy who was a highly respected, coach, I don't know, Bill Walsh or something like that,
yeah.
You bet your ass that he's got final say, or he's going to, if it comes down to the big play, with the catch with Dwight Clark and Joe Montana,
Right. Mm-hmm.
You bet your ass that he's the guy calling it. You don't have, 8 guys and players not sure if this guy's calling it or that, But I see that in the WWE all the time, and even when I did that gig a few years back in Phoenix, I was intrigued, with all the, it seemed like there was, without any exaggeration, like a different script writer or team of script writers for every single match, and it's like,
wow.
Say what here, in the old days you'd have one booker giving out the finishes, and that was that, and and because of that, you didn't have all these things that seemed to contradict or conflict with each other, but yeah, that's just some of my random perspectives about the state of the business right now. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it maximize its potential. I think it's in a weird position right now where, with social media and all this other, I think it could enjoy a huge period of growth.
Right.
But if they don't get their so-called shit together, they could take a precipitous slide. They could be go in the same direction as the XFL or the World Bodybuilding Federation or some of that. It doesn't, and I don't know. It seems like they're immune or oblivious to constructive criticism, or maybe they don't want to hear.
I don't think
people like you or me, passing judgment on the exalted, the gods or whatever the hell. I don't know what the hell.
I guess to them the question would be, who the hell are they?
Yeah.
But
we're
on the outside looking in. We see the product. We see it's going nowhere. And from your perspective, Bruce, I think that just your way of thinking that if you had a magic wand and you could just go back and change things, I think that's probably what you do with these seminars you got going on, right? Because you try to change.
Yeah, it's sort of like one of these old, I'm just trying to spread the word, and I appreciate, and I enjoy having it's always, it's really enjoyable for me when I do have a chance to talk with guys like you guys, because you guys have been there and done it, and you still have a passion and an understanding, and that's one of the biggest problems I have. I'm sure you guys probably have the same, is so many of the people that are aspiring to be wrestlers or whatever these days, their only mode is, trying to be some kind of a half-assed copy of the WWE and all of that. And
right.
I always used to tell the guys when I was developing Owen and Benoit and Pillman and those guys, the best chance of you succeeding is being a compelling alternative to that. There's a zillion Elvis impersonators out there, most of whom are starving and having to work a day job or something like that. And even if they do Elvis better than Elvis, and wrestling's sort of the same. If all you're trying to be is the second coming of Hulk Hogan or the second coming of John Cena or Steve Austin or whatever, even if you do the stunner better than him, or you can say hell yeah or shake beer cans up or whatever the hell, and it's not going to translate into you becoming a star. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with these indie shows, is they first off, and I appreciate them, I empathize with them for trying, and I appreciate their enthusiasm and all, but most of them don't seem to, they have no idea what wrestling is. Their idea of wrestling is going out and putting on a weird costume and, smashing some chairs and doing some high spots, and if they get a few marks chanting holy shit, they think they've, kind of, that has made them a great worker or something like that, and to me that's all misplaced, and I think so I've said before, and that's one of the things I endeavor to impart in the seminars, is you almost have to go back to square one. The biggest indication to me that people want to see something that they perceive to be real and sort of a throwback to old school wrestling is the rise of the UFC. I'd venture to say that about 95% of their fan base is pissed off former wrestling and former boxing fans who got pissed off with the Klitschko's and Don King and all that bullshit, and they also got pissed off with being told that the wrestling business was a work, and seeing divas and people that couldn't work wearing belts and all this other bullshit. So I think they finally turned on to UFC, and for me, UFC's, I honestly don't believe it can get too much bigger or too much. It may have already peaked in my estimation. And my dad used to tell me UFC was nothing more than, sort of a throwback to what wrestling was when he was breaking in back in the 20s and 30s. It was just sort of this, perceptibly shoot fighting with guys in cauliflower ears, kind of, and little by little, they kind of brought the show elements into it, and but that's sort of I honestly believe wrestling, if it was to restore the some perceptible credibility and had guys essentially doing wrestling, and if they're doing high spots or they're doing gimmicks, it should always be for a reason, and you should never let the tail wag the dog. It should be the the promoters or people that are calling the shots, having sort of autonomy over what the hell's going on. Right now, I see the tail wagging the dog where the marks are if you got a bunch of marks going, holy shit, or you fucked up or whatever, the wrestlers allow that to dictate what they're doing, which is, the tail wagging the dog, and it shows that they don't know how to wrestle or they don't have any confidence in their own ability to, kind of direct traffic. And too many of the wrestlers out there right now, I feel sorry for the poor bastards because they haven't really learned how to work, but they're consumed with doing high spots, and that's a bad precedent. You don't want to be setting for yourself. I see these poor bastards like Jeff Hardy and Sabu and some of these poor bastards where they have to go out and do that every night because that's all the fans, it's like some band's greatest hits or something like that. And if they don't see Jeff Hardy go out and nearly break his neck, or they don't see Sabu go through 4 tables and get color and almost get killed or whatever, it's almost like they didn't get their money's worth. And I feel sorry for those poor bastard wrestlers who were sort of almost obliged to have to go out and do that shit every night because, invariably, that's why they're all, popping pills and, hooked on Oxycontin and all the other shit because they're, going out and doing that every night and inviting injury and all that other, so. But it'd be nice if some of the guys that are in the organizational or the administrative end of this business these days would, I'd like to see more of them putting their heads together and formulating some kind of cohesive strategy. That's one of the biggest problems right now. I hear there's countless small promotions and so-called backyard promotions and all this other, but it seems like very few of them are working with each other. I think they'd be better off if they were working with each other and swapping talent and all like that, but they also got to reestablish some kind of perceptible guidelines that they have to operate within as far as what the wrestling itself is. You got to maybe have some kind of mandate or whatever. You're cutting back on the high spots or the gimmicks or the goofy stuff or the having guys that don't look like they they look like they're 100-pound skinny little people in homemade outfits wearing belts and stuff like that. It's all well and good, I guess. It's like kids playing house or something like that. But at some point, you got to actually kind of reestablish some kind of perceptible respectability. That's always been a big part of it for me. Is in any sport or any entertainment mode, invariably the fans have to look up to and aspire to be like their heroes in the ring. But if they actually go out there and see some guys in the ring and and there's none of that where they're all saying I could kick that guy's ass, or that guy couldn't make third string on the junior high basketball team or something like that, and all too often you're seeing too much of that these days on these so-called indie shows, so I don't know. I'd like to see more of the people, kind of setting the bar higher for themselves, and I'd like to see more dialogue, which is maybe why I'm expounding like some kind of, a preacher or some shit here. But I'd like to see, some of those things because I think, if you adhere to some of those things, it could go a long way to restoring the foundation, which is really the key thing that wrestling needs to be doing these days on a widespread basis. And so I always enjoy having an opportunity to talk to guys like you. It's a pleasure for me because you guys know where I'm coming from and vice versa. So, I unfortunately don't get a chance to talk to enough people that, get it, as they say. It's all too often they, think I'm full of shit, or they're, sort of shaking their head and saying, what's this?
No, Bruce. We have the utmost respect. Before we let you get out of here, Bruce, you're going to have a seminar with Q-Ball Carmichael coming up. Where's that going to be, and tell us about that?
As far as I know, it's supposed to be on the weekend of August 15th, 16th, and 17th down in, I think it's down in
North Carolina.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not sure if people out there know Q-Ball. He's seems like a real good guy. I've spoke to him. He's, I guess, doing some promoting down in that neck of the woods. So he invited me to come down there and do a dungeon style seminar, and I'm sort of going to be kind of expanding on the type of things I've been saying, just kind of hopefully giving these people a good overview of what wrestling really is and should be, and maybe trying to get in place some of the things that are, their priorities as far as what they need to be doing in order to enhance their chances of success. And most any of the stuff I'd be imparting is stuff that I've imparted to people like Owen and Brett and Dynamite and Davey and Pillman and all those guys, same kind of thing, and if there's a method to the madness, then, there's a lot more likelihood if you actually know why you're doing what you're doing and you're being systematic and logical, and then I think you stand a lot better chance of success. And I guess the two biggest examples today that I would point to that are sort of byproducts of that mindset would be Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. They sort of weren't giant guys, or they weren't doing anything that kind of death-defying or awe-inspiring, but they sort of embody the old school ring psychology that you guys would have been familiar with, and I certainly was brought up on. And I think that's the way that the business needs to go, and just the fact that Brian and CM are kind of probably the two biggest stars of the last several years. I would hope that these guys maybe can understand where I'm coming from or what I'm advocating. So
I think that knowing Q-Ball Carmichael like I do, I think that you're going to find when you get there to North Carolina, you're going to find the guys that he selected to be guys that's kind of got your mindset that want to learn about the tradition, want to learn old school psychology, old school mentality. That they're not all about the high spots, And I might throw in too just that I don't want any of these people, when they hear us talking about old school, I'd still like to remind them that most of the so-called old school guys I'm talking about, are as exciting and spectacular as anyone I've ever seen in the ring. Talking about Owen, and talking about Pillman and Benoit and Dynamite Kid and Jushin Liger and people like that. So they're certainly not just
guys wearing wool tights and rolling around in the mat. Those guys were all as dynamic and exciting as anyone I've seen in the business. They had a understanding of the things that we've been talking about. Making it look like it was real and using the run to set up the pass. The run being the wrestling and the pass being the high spots or the swerve finishes or the whatever. So I'm hoping some of this, if anyone's listening out there, I'm hoping it makes sense to them, and I would say a lot of the guys that, might be good candidates for the camp, or maybe people that are already in the business, but, have either been spinning their wheels or, have not been appraised of some of these things that we're talking about, because those are, a lot of those little things, little subtleties that you guys would know are actually vital to kind of transforming you from just a wannabe into, some kind of a marketable commodity.
Of course. So that's August the 16th, August the 15th, 16th, and 17th in Burgoyne, North Carolina. There's the Bruce Hart Seminar and Evaluation, along with Q-Ball Carmichael. You can find Q-Ball Carmichael you can email Q-Ball Carmichael at, Pedigree 911? I think it was Pedigree911 at yahoo.com. Because I thought it was funny because I was going to ask him if he asked Triple H if he could use that name, but I didn't get a chance to last week. But if not, just look for Bobby Warren Sermo at Facebook.com, and I've got a link set up giving you information about the Bruce Hart Seminar. It's one that nobody wants to miss. If you want to learn from the man that's got to be the best of the best, because he trained the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Bruce Hart is your guy. And Bruce Hart, we really appreciate you for coming on to the radio program this week.
Yeah, I'd love to any time again. I just like to also just thank you guys for everything. I've kind of had a chance to cross paths with you and Viscera and all the rest, but I know the biggest judge of character in this business is just what the boys say about you, and I always used to hear nothing but nice things being said about you from people like Owen and Davey Boy and Brett and all them. So that always made a huge impression on me. You guys were, great people and a credit to this business. So I appreciate you guys letting me come on tonight, and I'd like to thank you just for all the things you've done for our family and for the business. And like Owen and Brett said, you guys are a credit to the business. So I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting you at maybe one of these seminars or whatever. I'd love to sit down and have a beer with you or whatever.
Bruce, it's been an honor and a privilege. It's been an honor and a privilege. And, you was talking about, the boys, in a mentoring capacity. We didn't get a lot of that from the boys back then. But before you go, I want you to know that for me, myself, personally, Brett and Owen were always there for me in that capacity. That's something I'll never forget. And, Bruce, you got to come back soon, okay?
Anytime. I'd be honored and privileged. So I'd be more than happy kick around anything relative to the wrestling business, whatever. I'd love to join you guys, and I wish you guys well, and I look forward to coming back soon and maybe seeing you guys at one of these seminars.
All right, we'll talk off air. We're definitely going to get together and get together on something. We'll call. I'll give you a call next week.
I'll look forward to it, my friend.
All right,
take care. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Well, that has got to be the best of the best of the best, because, like I said before, you don't train the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, unless you are the best of the best of the best. And that's what I think of when I think of Bruce Hart.
Guys that are going to be at that seminar are going to get a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information, and I don't know what they're paying, but they're not paying enough. I can tell you that.
Well, yeah, I think Q Ball said it's like $300. I think for the 3 days.
It ought to be $600. You're getting trained by Bruce Hart.
Right. It should be. Well, Bruce Hart's been around the business for many years. He comes from a prestigious wrestling background. He comes from probably one of the biggest wrestling families, and I'm not just talking about name-wise. I'm talking about in numbers. You know, Stuart Hill and Hart was dropping babies like I dropped corns at the roulette table.
Yeah, I know that's right.
So Stu Hart was the man, because Stu Hart was the man, and he comes from a prestigious wrestling family, prestigious wrestling background. I don't think of any family that I name in the business, you can name one that's bigger than the Hart family. I mean, you can name the Von Erichs, great family, right? Von Erichs were not bigger than the Hart family.
No,
I mean, you can name some families, but when you think of families in this business, in the wrestling business, there's no family that is synonymous than the Hart family. None.
All right, now are we gonna get just incredible? Because at this point, what do we have time for besides how you been? We gonna get him real quick.
I'm placing the call to him right now.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So while he's doing that, Mimi, tell us real fast. 8:45. Paige and Cameron, AJ Lee, and no, that's good. Cameron and Naomi, Paige and AJ Lee at Battleground. What's your take on that? What's going to happen?
Wait a minute. Who's against them?
Naomi.
Oh, I know.
Naomi and Cameron.
Naomi's going to whoop Cameron. That's definite.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I don't know. To get heat, they might put Cameron over. You never know how these things going to work out.
Yeah.
Okay. AJ Lee and Paige. Does Paige get the title back?
No.
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 No, of course not.
No, of course not.
And Dreamy, why doesn't Paige get the title back?
Paige was there just to do her job, hold the title for AJ. She did that. That was it.
Right.
She never should have had it in the first place, huh?
She was just holding it for AJ.
Right. She was holding it for AJ?
Yep. That's all it was.
Yep. See?
Okay.
He knows her stuff.
What? Okay, Dreamy, let me ask you a question. You're a Bray Wyatt fan. What is the end game? Why is it that they take him, first started out with Kane, then it went to Daniel Bryan, John Cena, no rhyme, no reason to none of it, no resolution at the end of it. Now he's moved on to terrorizing Chris Jericho. What is the purpose? What is the deal? Where are they going with this?
I have no idea. I'm not a big fan of the Wyatts. I think the Wyatt gimmick is great as far as, something entertaining for the people to grab hold to. I'm not one of those people because I don't like Bray Wyatt and the family.
You know what?
So,
I think that I think they got off the beaten path, man. I think that what they could have done, seriously, man, I think what they could have done, they could have turned Bray Wyatt into this mega superstar babyface when they started that whole, he's got the whole world in his, and they had the kids singing that stuff and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think he really could have turned into a mega babyface. You know what I mean? And spawn off.
But they turned him right back to his ranting and raving and crazy antics.
And like you said, how do you go from in a program, with you go in a program with Daniel Bryan, a big angle, you know what I mean? then you end out of that into something with Cena, and I don't even see where Jericho fits in the picture. How you just come back and just jump into a program against Bray Wyatt, and it doesn't make
it don't fit.
It don't fit. And as that attorney for O.J. Simpson said, if it don't fit, you means it don't make no sense, you know. So
all right, now Mo, I got a quip for you real fast. Even Bruce Hart was like, this guy Q1 Carmichael called me down for a seminar. He don't know who the hell Q1 Carmichael is. I know who he is now, and I got all the respect in the world for meeting him and listening to him talk. But everybody don't know Q1. Bruce Hart is going down in to see Q1, and he couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
And your point is what?
Everybody don't know the man.
Okay, everybody might not know the man, but everybody's not on the radio saying.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter if you know him or not. You say what tripped me out about you, knucklehead, was, you know, who the fuck is Q1 Carmichael? Come on, man. You don't know him. Bruce don't. Man, he's in Western Canada, dude. Q-Ball Carmichael's on the East Coast.
Oh, you okay? You just good.
I never once said Q-Ball Carmichael was a WWE superstar. I never said he was a WCW superstar. I never said he was the greatest wrestler on the planet. But what I am saying to you is, the greatest people in this business, some of the best wrestlers in this business, and some of the people that's got some of the biggest knowledge in this business have never had a contract. It doesn't mean that they're nobody.
What I'm saying is when Q-Ball go to pick Bruce up from the airport, he got to hold up a damn sign. That's my point.
Okay. When you got picked up from the airport the first time, I'm sure that somebody had to hold up a sign to direct you where you need to go.
You damn skippy. That sign said WF, and I was like, oh, God, there go my ride. He was Johnny on the spot.
I got you. We got Peter Polacco on the line yet?
Unfortunately, no. I was not able to reach him. I did try calling several times, so we'll probably have to bring him in another time. What it is that I told him that we were gonna. I didn't anticipate that Bruce would call in and be first. That's okay either way. We can always get Justin back another time.
Felix,
I told him he would come on first, so no worries.
I apologize, Felix. I apologize, Felix. We got to get on the same page. We got to get our shit together.
Oh, well, at least tonight we're not gonna get these spanking texts from Austin. What the hell happened to Justin? What the hell happened to Justin?
All right, guys, come on. I know.
I love you guys. Bring them back, man.
Let's move on past this and
bring them back, man. I love you guys.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. Okay, at a 8:45, Phillips at a 8:45, get Pastor Bob on the line so he can tell us about Impact Church. Dreamy, back on the spot to you. Okay, so you're a businesswoman. So let's go back to your WWE report. Lots to talk about there. Okay, so the royalty checks was $70,000, then they went down to $12,000 or $12,000, then $1,500. You're a WWE superstar. How would you feel about that? Would you want to walk off the job, or you gonna ride with the waves?
Ooh, I don't think I would walk off the job, but they would definitely hear my mouth. Cause I mean,
they would hear your mouth.
Yeah, definitely.
What a shock!
Really? What would you say, Mimi?
Yeah, you go to Vince and you say what exactly? That was gonna be my
what
question.
would you say, Mimi?
What the hell is going on?
Okay.
I mean, I went from getting yes. If I'm going from getting a $70,000 check to $1,500. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this?
Okay,
because obviously my lifestyle is not gonna be. I mean, $1,500. What is that gonna do?
Right.
So, yeah.
What is that gonna do?
And if he tells you $1,500 is what it is, take it or leave it. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Honestly,
would you walk out and quit?
I was just going to say, my hothead, I probably would leave.
Walk out and quit?
Are you walking out?
I probably would.
And what you gonna say?
I mean, especially if things didn't change. I mean, I could ride with the wave for a little while, but that wave can't be too big for a little while.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. Well, let me ask you this question then, because you're on the outside looking in, and you pretty much got an idea of why the money is the way it is right now.
Right.
I mean,
right.
knowing why the money is that way, why would you be mad about it?
Well, I mean, I think as far as the whole, they put all their eggs in one basket with this whole WWE network, and that's the bottom line. You put all your eggs in one basket. Now everything is not coming together the way that you thought it was going to come together. So now everybody is suffering. That ain't my fault, right? That ain't my fault.
Well, yeah, but okay. We get a contract in '93, and we go to work for Vince McMahon. At the same time, Vince McMahon is going through the steroid trial. So every dime that comes in the door, he's having to pay legal fees. So we're not making any money. I mean,
see that first of all, that whole thing with signing a contract that say that he pay me what he want to pay me when he want to pay me, I ain't going for that.
Right.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Contracts are to be negotiated.
No, not when you don't have any bargaining chips. When you go in as a rookie, you ain't got no name for yourself. They're just giving you an opportunity. It's kind of like walking on to an NBA basketball team and trying out. You didn't have a great college career.
Nothing.
You just walked on. You didn't get drafted. When you get drafted,
American Idol.
You know what I'm saying? When you get drafted, you know what I'm saying? Based on where they draft you at, that tells you what your bargaining chips are. If you drafted number one, first round, that means that you are the best player by their standards in college football, period.
Right.
And because of, and it's kind of like the law, last year's number one pick got X amount of dollars. So this year's number one pick is not going to take less than what last year's number one pick got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the market is set that way. Now, you in the college draft, you don't get drafted at all. But there's a couple teams that need a couple positions, and you're allowed to walk on, and you make the team. When you make the team, you are going to get the league minimum.
Right.
In the NFL, they have a league minimum that you have to get paid no matter what. They have a league minimum. Vince McMahon's standard contract has a minimum. 2 years, 10 bookings a year at $150 a night. Only thing other than the royalty information is you have 90 days prior to the expiration of this contract to either give a notice that you're leaving or them give you a notice that they're not going to re-sign you.
Right.
As somebody that doesn't have, any bargaining chip. Now, say somebody like a Chris Jericho coming back.
Let me simplify this for you. Let me simplify it. You're Prince, okay? You're proven. You sold millions of records, and you're going to negotiate a new deal for yourself at a brand new record label. You got all the leverage in the world because you're Prince, as opposed to if you're Tamara Gerard just winning American Idol and you walk in to negotiate a record contract. You got no record sales, no track record, no leverage whatsoever. Which one of you individuals have got a seat at that table to even talk? You or Prince?
Prince.
understand what I'm saying, Dreamy?
I understood what Mo was saying.
Yeah. I knew you did. So,
why are you talking about simplifying stuff? What do you think you're talking to?
I'm uncomplicating. I'm uncomplicating it for
it
our
wasn't complicated in the beginning.
Right. She's a grown-ass woman. She don't need you to simplify nothing.
Thank you, Mo.
Man, she knew what she was talking about.
I wish you could have seen my face expression when you talking about some Mama simplify this for you. What?
Right.
It wasn't for you personally. It was for our more unintelligent listeners that maybe I needed to simplify.
You directed it toward me.
Right.
That's because I'm talking to you.
I mean, Undertaker goes to Vince McMahon and said, Vince, we got a problem here. I got a $120,000 royalty check last month. This month I got $20,000. I mean, what the hell's going on?
Right.
You know, Vince is going to be more inclined to listen to him.
Right.
Than somebody like, say,
Oscar.
Heath, whatever his damn name is.
Heath Slater.
The redheaded kid.
Yeah,
Heath Slater. Yeah. Yeah, he goes to Vince, I'm used to getting $30,000 of my royalty checks. I only got $5 this time. What the hell's going on? Vince is like, what's going on is you getting your ass out of my office and pack the shit, go home. That's what's going on. That's what Vince is going to say to him, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you know, so
I know, Mo. Let me quote it. Let me quote it. It's been a lovely dance, but it's time for you to go.
Yep. Time for you to take a hiatus. Vince, what the hell is a hiatus? I don't know what a hiatus is.
You're going to find out when I don't call you 2 years from now.
Right.
When you can't even get a backstage pass.
I understand you being. I understand exactly where Mimi's coming from, you know. But you know, just understanding that some people don't have that power.
Right, and the thing is, when you go in though, you sign it. You're looking over the contract. If that's something that you can live with, then I mean, that's what you signed on for. So, yeah, when things start getting shaky, you can't be mad at it. You already said that this can be the low.
To be honest with you, I really didn't even read my contract. He put it in front of me. He said, the sooner y'all sign this and give it back, the sooner we start sending y'all that $500 a week until you go on the road. Man, I read over the 10 bookings a year, $150, you know, per booking, 2 years. At that point, I didn't even read the royalty clause. I didn't know nothing about royalty, so I got my first royalty check, girlfriend. I ain't lying to you. I kid you not. I did not read that contract. I signed that. I found a place to sign that thing and get it notarized. I signed it, got it notarized, and Nelson was the same way. We were used to working, making $10, $15, you know, a night, you know, traveling the same distance up and down the road. You know what I'm saying? Here's a guy saying to us, look, you're going to get a minimum of $150 a night. Now, in our brain, we ain't computing that we got to pay for a hotel, we got to pay for a rental car, and none of this stuff. All we're thinking is, man, from $20 a night to $150 a night, you cannot beat that.
Yo, hold on a second. Felix.
Yes, sir.
Did we get Pastor Bob?
I have him on hold currently because he's actually pulling over. He was on the freeway. He's pulling over safely so that way he can talk without any interruptions.
All right.
So you keep talking.
I'll check 9 minutes.
That's fine.
We got 9 minutes. We'll see if we can get him in here real quick.
That's fine. We'll get him.
Pastor Bob. We got Pastor Bob coming in?
Yep, we got Pastor Bob coming in. Impact
Church. Is a real pastor?
Real pastor, yeah. He's got an Impact Church here. They have a Fire Pro Wrestling that they right around the corner from my house. They got Rhino and Al Snow in town this weekend. They're going to have a huge event.
Huge event, Pastor Bob?
Huge. Pastor Bob, huge event.
That means I can't cuss no damn more?
Yeah, no, you can't cuss while the pastor's on the phone. You just trying to get you. You talking about wrapping the car around a tree, trying to get your ticket to hell.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding, man.
If you talking about wrapping your car around trees, you better straighten up.
Hey, man. I'm just
the last thing Jesus saw you do was cuss while a pastor
All right,
was
guys,
on the floor.
Without any further ado, here's Pastor Bob.
Pastor Bob, how you doing?
Hey, Oscar, doing good, man. Hey, thank you for the plug tonight. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it very much. We got a big weekend at Fire Pro.
Anytime you sneeze, I'm going to be there to feel the mist. Tell us what's going on real quick.
Well, we got a big weekend. First time we've ever done this. We have a show Saturday night. We got the Freebirds. Freebirds are really making a name for themselves, going up against Christopher Kent and Kenny Courageous. We have a Fire Pro Heavyweight Championship match. We have Jimmy Crisis against Jeremy Hatley. My goodness, Saturday night is going to be a full night. And without giving anything away, we have a special guest who's going to make an appearance Saturday night. I'm not at liberty to say who that is, but if you come, you'll be more than glad you did.
Wow.
I tell you, you know what? That's great. And then Sunday, we've got Fire Pro is the promoter for a special show at the Texas Roadhouse. It's a Headlock on Hunger show, and it's for the Portage Food Pantry. And again, for that show, hey, you're talking about a special cage match between Rhino and Al Snow. And, who knows what's going to come with that one, but that's the headliner on that one. And then, of course, we've got one of our own local guys, Tony Rican, going up against Mike Horning. We have a last man standing battle royal. Always love those. And a Survivor Series. Should be just a great 2 days of wrestling. At Impact, Saturday Night Wrestling kicks off at 7 o'clock is bell time. And then on Sunday night at the Portage Roadhouse in Portage, kickoff is at bell times at 5 o'clock. So, man, I'll tell you what, you couldn't ask for a better back-to-back matches.
Okay. And in Portage, you got other stuff going on. You got burgers, hot dogs, you got the motorcycle rides out there, a band that's going to play, and a whole festival that day.
Yeah, it's all afternoon. And I tell you what, bring the family. Bring the family, because this is another family-focused kind of entertainment thing. That's what Fire Pro does. We're family-friendly. In fact, I don't know if other feds are doing this, but I know for our Saturday night show, kids 12 and under always get in free. We try and do that as much as we can. So kids 12 and under are free, and they come and they have a great time because we want kids. I always say this. I tell our Fire Pro wrestlers, never do anything I'll have to apologize to our fans for. So there's no sexual innuendo, there's no vulgar language, but there is very great athletic wrestling.
Well, Pastor Bob, we are definitely going to see you at some point this weekend. You are doing great work. You have a great promotion here in Northwest Indiana, and I thank God and I appreciate you, buddy.
Well, I appreciate everything you do, too, and you know what? God has blessed Fire Pro. Again, we haven't missed a show in over 7 years, and that's not a bad rate. That's not bad for an independent fed. That's really good from what I understand. And we have a great roster of wrestlers. We have a great great roster of wrestlers. And again, I'll put our guys up against any fed. We've got some really great talent. So again, I think God has blessed us, and the guys are excited, and everybody's looking forward to this weekend. We've never done this before. 2 shows back to back.
Well, you guys are going to draw me. It's going to draw a lot of people. We're looking forward to it. We're going to have some fun this weekend.
All right, sounds great.
All right, Pastor Bob, I'm going to see you Friday or Saturday or Friday and Saturday, but I'm definitely going to see you.
All right, good enough, man. Hey, God bless. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, I love that guy.
Well, Mo, we know we'll never see you at an Impact show, right?
Who that?
He said it was family. Yeah, he said it was family friendly.
Family friendly.
Nothing done, and he has to apologize for later.
I might not be a welcome guest. I don't know how to act in public. I don't know how to act in public, man.
How many times have you had to say, "I'm sorry, man"?
Quite a few times, man. He just said
he
don't know what's going on. He just said he don't want nothing going on at his show that he's got to say he's sorry for. Well, damn, I can't show up.
Sorry about everything you do that you can't show up.
That's right. I cannot be there, Mimi. I'll meet you afterwards for a nightcap.
Yeah, there you go.
Or a cocktail or something.
Yeah, you can't come to a Fire Pro show. You are too
Hey,
vulgar.
man, don't forget September 13th, right? We're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, back at Heroes and Legends 4.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll
Okay, that's the show that y'all just did back in, what was that?
March, right?
April?
Yeah. We're going back to Fort Wayne.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. We're going back to Fort Wayne.
And in November, we going to England?
Yeah, we got to get on our fundraising for that now. We got some fundraising to do because we're going to England. Mimi, you got a passport?
No, I don't.
Take a trip? You want to take a trip?
I sure do.
Well, let's put your name on the list of getting a passport and raising a fund so you can go too.
All righty, that sounds good for me.
We're talking about leaving on Thursday, November the 7th, and coming back Sunday, November the 10th. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds good.
That way you don't miss no work. Don't have to miss no work. You still be on the grind when you come back.
Yeah, I'm flexible though, so I ain't worried about it.
All right. Well, then we all need to get together and make some plans and raise this money to take care of the cost to go and do this business over there. We need to go and make an appearance. So, Men on a Mission going to the UK in November. We're going to Heroes and Legends 4, September the 13th, to Fort Wayne, Indiana. We're going to be back there. We got any other stuff coming up, Oscar?
The Oman Arena in Jackson.
Well, yeah, we got the Bully Bash August the 1st in McKenzie, Tennessee, National Guard Army, and then we got the Bully Mania August the 2nd in Jackson, Tennessee at the Oman Arena. All kids at grades K through 12, free admission. Adults are asked for a $10 donation.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, that's fantastic. Yeah, we expecting quite a crowd out there at those two events in Tennessee coming up. And kudos to you. I'm proud of you because you have been working tirelessly and working real hard to make those events happen. It's a real pleasure to see you, Martin Luther the King, be positive in the community and, and let them all know you have a dream that bullying will not be tolerated. It will stop. And that black kids and white kids and green kids and purple kids can all join hands and sing the old Negro spiritual Kumbaya, Kumbaya, motherfucking Yah. Yes.
Oh, my goodness. They going to sing Kumbaya MF, y'all?
Oh, yeah, man. Kumbaya.
He's got the whole
world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. That's right.
Is it time to go yet, Felix?
Whenever you guys are ready.
About.
All right.
Hey, no, we got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Felix.
Yeah.
Hey, plug the Pipe Bomb Radio show for Tuesday and Wednesday,
Pipe Bomb Radio, yeah.
All right. Well, we've got Wildcat superstar Danny Flamingo coming on Tuesday, and we've got WWE Hall of Famer Booker T coming on Wednesday.
Now you see, they get big quality. I mean, they snag people that's on TV now. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what they do on Pipe Bomb Radio.
Yeah, how do they do it?
They got the connections.
I don't know about that, but we work hard. We do.
Yeah. Okay. They had Harley Race on like not too long ago. Did you feel it?
No. That was Blackjack Mulligan.
Oh, Blackjack Mulligan.
Okay.
See, you know.
we got Bruno on last year. That was right almost. I think it was his first interview after he was inducted into the Hall of Fame last year.
Wow. You know, we're on the Pipe Bomb Radio Network. I'm gonna tell you something, Mo. No matter what we do, no matter how hard we work, who we have on, Pipe Bomb is always gonna show us. They're always gonna one up us. Always know.
Yeah, they're gonna one up us.
They're gonna show us up every time.
You know what we need to do, don't you? You know what we need to do? We need to have Tracy Smothers show up at the Pipe Bomb Radio station and beat those guys up.
Yeah, we actually already we had Tracy on the show. We had Tracy on the show last fall.
That had to be an interesting conversation.
And how did that go, Felix?
That was. I'm not going to say anything bad. Let's just say it was interesting.
I got you. I love Tracy Smothers.
When are you going to run?
He's nothing against him. He's a great guy. The interview was interesting. Is all I will say.
Mimi asked you, Felix, where do you live now? Where do you live again?
I live in Southern California.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
How do you live in Southern California?
Yes, sir.
So besides producing Pipe Bomb Radio, Felix, what do you do?
I'm actually currently in pursuit of my bachelor's degree in administration of justice after I just received my associate's degree with honors with office technology. So I'm kind of trying to educate myself a little further.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, man. You know, you're a higher education man.
I'm trying.
Good.
I'm never too old to learn. I'm 35, so I'm trying to get my things done now. So,
look, brother, it's 2014. I'm 47 years old. In 2012, I finished and got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. In 2009, I got my associate's degree in business administration. So, you know, you're never too old to learn something, progress in this world. So, congratulations, man. I hope that everything you continue to do is successful, you know, with Pipe Bomb Radio and everything. And while I got you on the line, I just want to apologize for being crazy. Can't help it, but, you know.
Well,
I love you, Mimi.
Guys. As far as she's already off the line, I just want to say, as far as
love you.
Oh, okay.
She said she loves
as far as everything goes, guys, it was a good show tonight. We'll try to get Justin back. Either I'll try to reach him, or one of you guys can try to reach him. Either way.
He's one of them. He's one of them that we know real well. So you tell him he don't be standing us up, man.
No problem. All right, you guys have a good night, and that's a wrap for tonight. Okay.
All right, good night, Mo.
Now Oscar called me.
All right, good night, John Boy.
Good night, Billy.
All right, good night, guys.